Hello and thank you for joining me again. Today, I'll be addressing something that I find that many people struggle with when trying to earn money by themselves. You see, in Nigeria, many of us grew up in homes where we got used to our parents going to work to earn a living, working for the government as civil servants and so on and so forth. So quite a number of us grew up with that mentality. Oh, I'll finish school, get a job. Guess what? The jobs are not easy to find. Sometimes they're just not there. And at the end of the day, you find yourself with an education and seemingly nothing to do. School did not prepare you to know how to make money. Nobody teaches that, not at primary, secondary, or tertiary level. So here you are, you're part of the job market, and you have no idea how to start earning money. The tip I want to share with us today, I'm hoping will help quite a number of people, because it's something I have also struggled with at some point, and I currently have youngsters in the house that are also struggling. What do you do when you cannot get a job that pays you a monthly wage? How do you get started? You don't have any entrepreneurs around you to serve as mentors. You are skilled in this, that, and the other, but you don't know what your passion is. You don't know what you love doing. And even when you know what you love doing, you have no idea how you can go about monetizing it. This is a serious challenge, and it is one that needs to be addressed. I'm going to give some tips that I hope will be useful. First of all, I don't necessarily subscribe to this line of thinking that says that do what you love and the money will come. Many of us love things that can't really bring in any worthwhile money. Or your passion is looking good. You really love looking good. But do you have what it takes to sit down and take the time and start measuring and cutting and sewing? There are some people who can spend hours watching football. They know they don't have the stamina to run for even 10 minutes. Watching is different from actually being on the pitch and chasing one ball around. For those who are really struggling to find what to do and how to get started, I want you to change your line of thinking from, hey, what is my passion? Hey, what do I love doing? And so on and so forth. What you love doing might not be able to put food on your table. Change your mindset from that line of thinking, which for some reason is very pervasive, to what do I know how to do well? Not even what do I enjoy doing. What am I skilled at? And to help us to understand, I'll give a quick definition of a skill. A skill is a learned ability to do something very well and obtain the desired results. It is a learned ability, meaning you've been taught, you have knowledge on how that thing is done. Anything that requires activity and you know how to do it well is a skill. For instance, cooking, keeping the house, driving, writing, oratory. As long as fashion designing, tailoring, carpentry, all of these things, as long as you had to learn how to do it, as long as you acquired the knowledge to perform that skill or perform that particular task, and over time you've gotten good at doing it, that is a skill. That is something you know how to do well. Sometimes it is difficult to differentiate between skills and talent, but I think Talents are things that are innate and not necessarily learned. So, for instance, things to do with creativity, like singing, um, fine arts, and so on and so forth. Usually they are talent based because there are people who will do these things effortlessly from when they're small children. And with just a little bit of help, you find them soaring. That is raw talent. You know, the training or whatever mentorship they get just helps to smooth out the rough edges and give them a bit of technique. But they already have something that if they keep working on, they will still excel at. It is innate, they are born with it. Skill you have to learn. What about your strengths? Now, your skills are part of your strengths. But your strengths are not necessarily skills. In fact, your strengths are not skills at all. Strengths are something that you're born with. That is how you ordinarily are. It's something to do with your character as a person. Okay? So it is not necessarily learned. It is innate. It comes from within. So things like hard work, commitment, loyalty, fair play, dedication, self-discipline, creativity, and so on and so forth come from within. So you know what your skills are. What have I learned how to do that I do well? That is your skill. Then we have experience. Experience speaks mostly to time spent, not just gaining the knowledge, but also practicing what you've learned. Because there are certain things that experience will imbue you with that just learning and knowledge won't give you. So, your skills, your strengths, your experience. Sit down, pick a pen and paper. Think long and hard. Your skills you can come up with very easily. Okay, I'm a good orator. But sometimes when I'm just gisting stuff, people start laughing. So maybe I have something in comedy. That would be a strength though. I cook very well. I clean very well. I learned how to drive and I do it well. Those are all skills. What about your strengths? I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm self-disciplined. I pay attention to detail. I can be very focused. I'm loyal, and so on. Put those down. Then finally, how much experience do you have regarding the skills that you have? So let's say you've been cooking since you were a teenager. Maybe you do a lot of that at home. You help your mom out in the kitchen. Over time, you're the person who essentially handles the kitchen and so on and so forth. Do you maybe want to go to some kind of cookery school so that you can just hone what you already know, smoothen out the rough edges, and then learn the business angle to apply to this thing that you already do well? Or maybe you actually love sewing. You've taken a few classes here and there, and you can stitch a skirt, put a blouse together and everything, but you're not highly skilled at it, but it's something you really want to pursue. Do you want to go to a fashion school so that in addition to helping you to hone that properly, they also teach you how to bring in money from that? So yes, there's that. And I also want to share with us that, in case you didn't know, no matter how much you love doing a certain thing, the minute it becomes a job, it takes some of the shine off. It takes a little bit of the shine off. That enthusiasm can begin to wane because it's no longer something you do when you want to do it because you want to relax and enjoy yourself. It is now work. And it takes a certain mindset. It takes a sense of self-discipline for you to keep at it. now that the pleasure aspect has been removed. Whatever you love doing, the minute it becomes work, the pleasure level of it drops. For most people, it drops. So let's say you love singing in the shower, you have a beautiful voice and so on and so forth, and you're like, well, the music industry is not doing too badly in Nigeria. I know one or two music producers and so on. My dear, by the time you find yourself having to show up to the studio and all the admin work and the leg work that goes into looking for sponsors and things like this, and the amount of time you spend, exercises you have to do to make sure that your vocal cords remain strong and your lungs have it. I actually watched a video one day where Michael Jackson was trying to squeeze his way out of going for a concert. That is, out of going for a live performance. I was shocked. Because I always thought, because he does that very, very well, I thought it would be something he lives for. Like, when is the next concert? Like, okay, we don't have enough concerts this year. But that wasn't the case. He was actually trying to squeeze out of it. So, it is not always just about what you love doing. If you've been thinking through it, you've interrogated yourself, you've been ruminating over it, it's something that's been keeping you awake at night, and you cannot seem to think up anything that you know you love doing and how it could turn into money in your pockets, then turn your eyes away from what you love doing, what your passion is. That can be confusing. Simplify it by simply identifying what your strengths are, the skills you have, and how much experience you have in those skills. That will help you to narrow down to, okay, there are these 3 things I think I can do well. And just to further buttress my point, we have this cleaning person who comes to give the house a thorough clean from all the rooms, toilets, bathrooms, the outside, everywhere. This is something we do daily. But every now and then, like maybe once every 3 months, we bring in a crew, to really clean out every nook and cranny and things like that. I don't think it's a passion. But they do it well. It's a job. That's how he puts food on the table. That's how he puts food on the table. I once read a Serena Williams interview, and we all know who Serena Williams is. She's one of the topmost women lawn tennis stars in the world. And I read an interview where she said that lawn tennis is not a passion for her. I was stunned. She said it's not her passion. It's just what she knows how to do best. So what do you know how to do best? Don't undermine it. Maybe when you were in university, you were the one who would, braid your friend's hair when they were broke, and you'd do a good job. If you're not ashamed, what stops you from having a small, just updating your WhatsApp status, to let friends know that, listen, from now I'm braiding hair, these are my rates. Book an appointment with me. You'll make money. Many of your friends will patronize you. Family members will patronize you. And you don't need to have a shop to do that. You just need a quiet corner somewhere around the house. You do it, you get paid. You simply tell them to wash their hair before coming, because you don't have the facilities for that. By the time you've been braiding hair, and if you're somebody who knows how to manage money well, by the time you've been doing that consistently for about 6 months to a year, you should have enough money to get a small cubicle somewhere where you can actually wash the hair before you braid. And then you can now take lessons in how to fix weave-ons as well. Before you know it, by your 3rd year doing this, you're gathering experience and so on and so forth. Maybe you can even start selling human hair. Or from something that you just know how to do. It doesn't follow that you love braiding hair so much. Your fingers hurt after you're done, your back aches and everything. You don't love doing it, but it's putting food on the table. It's giving you a sense of dignity. You're not scratching your head standing in front of anybody, asking them to give you money to put credit in your phone. What stops you from doing that? It doesn't have to be a passion. It doesn't have to be something you love. It just has to be something you know how to do very well, you're experienced at, and suits your strengths. That's all. And then again, don't undercut yourself. Place the right amount of money on the work, on the value of the work or the service you are giving. My fashion designer, I've known her for 8 months. 8 years. She's very good. Very, very good. You know. Her designs you won't find anywhere. 9 out of 10 times she gives me a dress and I'm good to go. If there's any issue at all, maybe it's a little too long, but nothing mind-blowing. She does not touch my wrapper until I drop the money. Because she knows the value that she's giving me. So why are you busy collecting people's wrappers for free? You start the work for free, then they come and pay you in bits and pieces. Then you are stranded, you can't do other people's work. Why? So you also have to get somebody to mentor you or teach you how to do the business end of whatever it is you are doing well. May God bless your hustle. If you have found this content useful, like, share, comment, subscribe, and watch again next week.